You are born in the shadows beneath the waves, not into warmth, but into movement. The water is thick with salt and silence. Your world begins inside your mother's womb, one of many small chambers in her long, sleek body, but not all your siblings will emerge. The stronger ones feed on the weaker before the ocean ever meets them. By the time you open your eyes, half of your family is gone, swallowed by the instinct to survive before life even begins. Light filters through the surface in trembling ribbons. It is both beautiful and blinding, cutting through the deep blue like a blade. You are small, only a few feet long, but your head stretches wide like a double horizon. The odd shape is your gift and your curse. The hammer. It helps you see in almost every direction. Your eyes set far apart, catching movements that others miss. You can sense the faint electric hum of a fish's heartbeat buried beneath the sand. You are evolution sharpened by hunger. The sea hums with secrets. You drift through coral canyons and shifting currents, your movements smooth, almost elegant. You are not yet hunted, but the feeling of danger is stitched into your nerves. Every vibration in the water carries a message: eat or be eaten. Around you, the ocean is ancient and endless, but it is not empty. A shadow passes above, sleek, fast, certain, a tiger shark. You tilt your hammer-shaped head, feeling the current tremble. You have no time to think, only to move. The water explodes with motion. Your first sprint, your first chase, your first escape. The sea is no mother, it is a test. When the stillness returns, you realize something quietly haunting. There will never be peace here, only rhythm, a feeding, fleeing, fighting. The ocean will never hold you. It will only demand you to swim harder. You are alive, for now. But in a world this vast, you start to wonder, what does it mean to exist when everything is made to consume? You swim because stopping means dying. Every breath you take comes through motion, water sliding past your gills, oxygen pulled from the current like whispers through a sieve. You never sleep, not fully. The ocean doesn't allow it. Even in rest, your body keeps moving, guided by ancient instructions written in muscle and instinct. You learn quickly what the hammer is for. It is not decoration, not deformity, it is precision. You sweep your head side to side, like a pendulum of hunger. Beneath you, a stingray trembles beneath a thin layer of sand. You can feel its heartbeat through the electric field of your ampullae of Lorenzini. Tiny sensors along your strange head. One flick of your tail, and you pin it down. One bite, and blood fills the water like a red bloom. The first kill leaves no satisfaction, only silence, and the faint tremor of survival echoing in your jaw. The days, if they can be called days, blur into blue. You travel miles upon miles through water thick with drifting light. Sometimes the sea feels infinite. Other times it feels like a cage with no walls. You follow the scent of prey through coral forests and along the continental shelf where the deep begins to drop away. But danger has its own scent, and you learn that quickly too. Pods of dolphins cut through the water in tight formations. And though they smile, with the illusion of friendliness, you know better. They are intelligent hunters, and even you are not beyond their games. Once, they corner you near a reef, their clicks echoing through your skull. Mocking, playful, cruel, you barely slip free through a gap in the coral, skin scraped, body trembling. At night, when the water cools, and the moon paints the surface silver, you rise close to the air. The world above is loud, boats humming, engines vibrating through your senses like thunder. You can feel the hooks, even before they pierce. The taste of metal in the current. You learn to avoid the lines, but others don't. You pass their floating bodies, eyes clouded, fins torn, drifting like broken prayers. The ocean moves on. No mourning here. Every day you kill. Every day you nearly die. You are built for this, the perfect predator. But even perfection feels hollow when survival is the only song you know. And somewhere inside that quiet, a question grows like a shadow. If this is life, what's the difference between surviving and slowly drowning? You grow into your shape, a living scythe cutting through the sea. The small corners of coral where you once hid now feel narrow, childish. The ocean seems smaller now, or maybe you've simply learned its limits. You patrol the shallows like a ghost, your wide head casting a strange shadow over reefs and wrecks. With age comes dominance. You are no longer the one who flees. The currents bend around you with quiet respect. Smaller fish scatter at your approach, and rival sharks give you distance. The hammer grants you sight others can't imagine. The world unfolds around you in split panoramas, left and right merging into an eerie symmetry. You see everything, you miss nothing, and still, it feels like something is missing from you. There are others of your kind. You meet them during migrations, when the water thickens with the scent of the tropics, and the moon hangs swollen over the surface. Dozens, sometimes hundreds, moving together like a slow-motion storm. The sensation is almost holy, the synchronized pulse of fins, the hum of recognition. But even unity is temporary. You are sharks, not saints. When the hunger returns, even companionship feels like illusion. Mating is not tenderness. It is violence softened by instinct. You bite to hold, she thrashes to resist. And when it's over, the ocean erases all trace of it. New life begins somewhere in the dark, and you continue swimming as though nothing changed. But something does. A strange emptiness takes root, the same question echoing from birth. Is this all survival is meant to be? You roam through underwater cathedrals of light, shafts of sun piercing the depths, dust like plankton swirling like tiny souls. You've seen the sea in all its moods, glassy calm, storm-torn chaos, the still horror of the deep trench where even light refuses to go. You've learned that beauty and brutality are not opposites here. They are siblings. Sometimes, as you glide above the seabed, you watch a school of fish move like one body, perfect harmony. You realize they're not free either, just another part of the pattern. Predator and prey, rhythm and ruin. You wonder if the ocean itself knows what it's doing, or if it too just drifts, alive because it has no choice. You swim on, driven by hunger, by instinct, by something older than thought. But deep down, in the silent churn of your mind, you feel the weight of the hammer pressing harder, a burden of awareness, the curse of seeing everything and understanding nothing. The ocean begins to change long before you realize it. The currents grow warmer, the fish grow fewer, the silence between your heartbeats stretches wider than before. The sea that once felt infinite now feels polluted with noise, the roar of engines, the metallic hum of ships above, the thunder of human intrusion. You've survived every predator nature made for you, but this new one, it doesn't swim. It builds, it burns, it bleeds oil into your sky. You follow the scent of blood once more, expecting the familiar ballet of the hunt. Instead, you find floating bodies, not prey, not kin, just corpses tangled in invisible threads, fishing nets, endless, ghostly curtains drifting through the blue, catching everything that dares to move. You push against one, and the fibers tighten. Panic flares, the primal kind. You twist, thrash, pull. The world shrinks to a cage of nylon and silence. Your hammer-shaped head, once an advantage, becomes the perfect trap. Hours pass. The sun above turns the water golden, then red, then black. You can't tell which burns more, your gills starved of oxygen or your body's refusal to stop fighting. Eventually, the current changes. You are hauled upward, ripped from the world that made you. The air is sharp, alien. You taste it once and already hate it. The humans speak in sounds you don't understand. Laughter, shouting, indifference. You hang there, the weight of your own body crushing you, water dripping off your skin like time itself leaking away. They take what they need, a fin, a photograph, a trophy. The rest of you is waste. You fall back into the sea, broken, but the ocean doesn't mourn you. It has seen too much death to notice one more. The water accepts you without kindness, folding you into its cold embrace. Small fish begin their quiet work. Even in decay, you feed the cycle. Far below, a newborn hammerhead drifts in the shallows. The pattern begins again. The ocean doesn't remember your name, your struggle, or the way you once cut through the waves like a blade. It only remembers motion. And that's the cruel truth. You were built to swim forever, yet everything around you is built to stop you. You dissolve slowly into the quiet, and for the first time, there is no need to move. The sea folds around what's left of you, a swirl of silver skin, dark eyes, and memory. Your body becomes the current, your atoms drifting into coral, plankton, sand. In death, you return to the rhythm that once enslaved you, the same rhythm that keeps the ocean alive. But something of you remains beyond the body, not thought, not spirit, but an echo. You sense the world through the ripples of what you were. You feel the hum of other hammerheads moving in the distance, still searching, still killing, still surviving. And you understand what all that motion meant. You were never meant to stop. Evolution didn't grant you rest, only design. Every curve of your body, every flicker of instinct, was crafted to serve the unending machine of life. You were efficient. You were perfect. But perfection has no mercy. It only repeats. You remember the surface, the burning light, the noise of the human world above. They too are caught in the same time, building, consuming, destroying, believing themselves above the water. But they are no different from you. Their hunger just wears clothes and calls itself progress. Their oceans are not of salt and depth, but of want. They too are drowning, only slower. If you could speak, you'd tell them that the sea is not a separate world. It is a mirror. It reflects everything that breathes, everything that takes more than it gives. You fade quietly into that reflection, realizing that existence, yours, theirs, everyone's, was never about meaning. It was about motion. The fight itself is the point. The swim is the only prayer that evolution ever answered. Somewhere, in the blue distance, light filters through again, trembling, uncertain, beautiful. And if the ocean could whisper, it would say only this: even the strongest must keep swimming, until the silence takes them too.